In this demo, I am going to show you how to use the NodeSelector using labels. I'm going to show you how this works using Minikube, because not everyone has an AWS cluster, but it really makes sense only if you have multiple nodes. So our Minikube only has one node, but I can still show you how it works. I have in my deployments folder, I have a hello world with a NodeSelector. So let's see what's in here. It's a normal pod specification here, but we have the NodeSelector, so it can only run on the hardware high spec. I'm going to first show you the labels of our nodes. So here you can see the labels. So we don't really have the label hardware high spec. What is then going to happen when we try to start this one? I will show it to you. kubectl create of this hello world deployment. Let's have a look. We have 3 desired, 3 running, 3 up to date, but 0 available. Let's have a look at our pods. It's all pending. So let's have a look at one of the pods. kubectl describe pod. And it says failed to fit in any node. This pod is trying to run on one of the nodes and needs to match the NodeSelector. And then matching was, of course, using this hardware high spec. But there's no hardware high spec key value available on any of our nodes. So first we need to add the label. And I can do that using kubectl label nodes. The name of this node was Minikube, and I want hardware equals high spec as a label. So node Minikube labeled. Let's do a get nodes again with show labels. And what does it say now? Hardware equals high spec. So now we just have to wait a little bit, because the node needs to figure out that this node now has a label. And you can see in our case, it didn't need a lot of time. It is now running. So if you do describe pod, and then let's take this pod, we see in the beginning we had a warning. We couldn't schedule the pod, it was not running, but once we changed the label, it could actually run on this node. If you have multiple nodes, you can specify this label on certain nodes, and your pods will only then be scheduled on these nodes. Very useful if you have different types of hardware. If you want to make sure that a certain workload only runs on a certain type of cluster, then you can use this. So that's it for this demo. You can try it out yourself using Minikube or even on the AWS cluster.